First off, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with Stop Beefing Radio tonight.
Hey, what up, man? I appreciate it.
Yeah, super excited for this, man. We go way back, but to get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you're from?
Hey, I'm Reckless Rhymacide, hip hop artist from Indianapolis, Indiana, aka Naptown.
Yeah. Now, do you think coming from Indianapolis, Indiana, is making it harder for you or easier for you to get into the music industry?
I don't know, man. Sometimes it's difficult, man, but I know it's probably difficult for everybody, man, everywhere. I think because I've talked to some other artists out of out of state, man, and they said that they encounter, similar,
Yeah.
similar process as well, man. Yeah,
Now, what
yeah.
made you wanted to get into the music industry in the first place and pursue this as your career?
Oh man, it's all I've ever wanted to be, man, was an MC, man. Other guys, man, probably wanted to hoop or, do something else. Me myself, man, I grew up in the hip hop early ages, man, and that's all I ever wanted to be was an MC, man.
Now, who were some of your earliest mentors or people you studied when you first got started?
uh well, my cousin Sir Hart, man,
Yeah.
was one of my first mentors, man, because he's a few years older than me, man, and he was heavy into making music, man. They had a group back in the days, man, called BYB Posse, man. Him and a couple of my other cousins, and so that's the first one that was real close to me, man. But I grew up listening to KRS-One, Skinny Boys, man, the old LL Cool J, man. So a lot of pioneers, man, from hip hop, man.
As dope. Now, with you being related to So Hart, salute to him. You know what I mean? He's fam as well. What was one piece of information he gave you that you've been able to use throughout your career to help you have the success you're having?
Man, the main thing that he gave me, man, was just keep going, man.
Yeah.
Just keep getting better, man. Even when so he's always been producing music and creating beats and stuff like that. Where I grew up kind of making break beats and stuff with old records and stuff like that, and just kind of not with the beat machine and stuff like that. So we used to go around him, and he was producing beats, playing the keys, had the old school drum pads and stuff like that, man. So the main thing that he used to tell me all the time, man, was just keep working on your craft, man. Just keep getting better and better, man. And I like to think that to this day, man, I just continue to learn, continue to evolve, just as an artist in general. You know what I mean? So I still taking his advice, and I definitely miss
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Now I know you and your brother rap together as well. So how did it go? How did you guys form your group, or how did you guys decide to come together and start making music as a group?
Well, man, the crazy thing is, man, me and my brother, man, we was actually I I used to be the MC, man. He used to be a drummer, so he used
Okay.
to be beatboxing and stuff like that, man. And we used to be serving boys like on the back of the school bus and stuff like that. And then we grew up off like 21st and Arlington, so boys on the other side of Arlington, man, we go over there and battle them and stuff like that. And then I ended up so a little later on in life, I was about like 17, 18, man. I ended up catching a case, going to prison. And then while I was in there, my brother had caught a case and went to prison too. But they allowed us to write
Okay.
each other, brothers. Yeah, so we could write from prison to prison. And so we used to be talking, man, and he used to be like sending me his raps. I couldn't understand them, but you know, I would send him some stuff that I had wrote, even though it's hard for me to look at another rapper's lyrics and unless I'd have heard the song before and say it like he would probably intend for it to be said, but it was still cool that he was doing what I was doing, so that bond helped us, you know what I'm saying, as brothers. And then when we got out, then we started actually writing songs together, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just celebrated Sharice here in Indianapolis, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, I was out at Sharice with Indiana Jones. Shout out to him.
Right.
And I met you guys. I had the chance to interview you guys. So I'm really excited to see the progression you've had because, like you said, you've been doing this a long time, but right now you've really got the city on fire. You're starting to get a lot of the recognition you've been due. What was it you think that changed for you recently that started catching everybody's attention the way it has?
I just didn't quit, Matt,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if it was one particular thing. I just didn't quit. And, you know, I didn't get some of the opportunities that I did want, but
Yeah.
I did get some opportunities. And some of those opportunities were pretty big opportunities that, you know, even if somebody was trying to block me, you couldn't deny it, you know, like, you know, kind of like when I was performing in the middle of Circle Center Mall,
Yeah.
people were like, how in the world is this possible? But I had ended up meeting somebody from an organization called Musical Family Tree that's what they did is that they got grant money to help fund Indianapolis artists. So I just didn't stop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started popping up on important people's radar. So
Yeah. Now, looking back at your career, like I said, you've been doing this a long time. What was the first sign you made the right decision to be an MC and to do this as your career? You know what I mean? Was there something that happened or a moment that took place that really gave you the idea that this was going to be a real possibility for you?
hey man, this is gonna sound crazy, man, but when I was still incarcerated,
Yeah.
man, I had entered this talent show and I won the talent show, man. And I just but but to be honest, man, I've always wanted to be an MC, man. I've always studied the craft
Yeah.
long before the internet is what it is today, man. I used to you know, read the thesaurus and
Yeah.
learn how to rhyme with syllables and things like that. And I studied the dictionary, so I just kept perfecting my craft, man, of just being an MC and a wordsmith, man. And I just kind of created my own style. So some people, when they hear me flow, they think I'm from the East Coast
Yeah.
because of the way I pronounce words.
Yeah.
But I always include, you know, Naptown things in there to let people know that this is where I'm from. I'm proud that I'm from here, and I'm never gonna deny it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, you also are part of a legendary magazine in our city, Scoop Magazine. How did you get connected to Scoop, and what's it been like all these years being a part of the magazine and helping spread the word for the city of all the dope stuff that goes on in the community?
Oh man, I just grind, man. So I met him by just running
Yeah,
ads. Yeah, man. I just one day so I've always been into graphics myself, and I've always been into like photography. And then I went in and talked to him about some press, and he asked, "Did I need somebody to design my ad?" I was like, "Nah, I do my own ad. You just tell me the dimensions." And he
yeah,
was really impressed because most people now I know some years later from working from him, most small businesses don't have nobody to design. You know what I'm saying? So we take care of that for them. The bigger corporations, they either work with ad agencies or have like a graphic designer on staff. So but I So he offered me a job right there on the spot, man.
Wow.
And I like the fact that he tries to help the small business person
Yeah.
and the Indianapolis community, man. So that's the reason why I'm still with him to this day, man. The guy grown on me, and I've grown on him. I've learned a lot about business in general from him.
Yeah.
And I like to think that I keep him up to date on what's hip. You'd
Yeah.
have to ask him,
Yeah.
but I think I do.
Yeah. Now, what's really dope about Scoop, I've been following you guys for a very long time because you're one publication, there's Nuvo and Scoop that actually still
Hmm.
puts physical copies around the whole city. You can be in the hood, you can be in Carmel, anywhere you go, you can get this magazine. What was the response you got from your family the first time you were in the magazine or you had an article published that, they seen, you
Oh,
didn't tell them, but they just happened to be looking at the articles and seeing you were there?
oh, they thought I had made it, man.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was definitely a milestone, but because just a lot of people, I think one of my superpowers is I figure it out.
Yeah.
I always go back to the drawing board and figure it out how to get the word out there, the information out there. And so when I connected with Cliff from Scoop, he was like, "Hey man, we're gonna introduce you. So first we're gonna do a little question and answer interview.
Yeah.
Then before we even run any ads, we're gonna let the people know." And so that's how I knew that actually what we doing now, even though music is my passion, sometimes it's my story
Yeah.
that people will fall in love with, and then they'll start checking out other things that I got going on. So yeah, my family thought immediately, it was like, boy, you done made it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely helped. Like I said, man, everything that I've been doing, I've been making some strides, man, for sure,
Yeah.
man. So and Scoop helps me,
Yeah.
and it lets me know about a lot of things that are upcoming,
Yep.
and I can share it with fellow artists and give them a heads up, and let them know about some opportunities that might be coming through the city too. So
Yeah. That's really dope. Now, how do you handle being media with Scoop and being an artist? So when you're in these situations where there's performances going on, like how do you know when to switch the hat and do that, or do you just kind of always be in both lanes at the
now
same time?
I'm kind of always in both lanes at the same time, man.
Yeah.
Scoop is definitely it's a part of me. Like I said, I've been there for so long. So even I do business with other publications as
Yep.
well. There's never any jealousy or anything. I just do good business and just try to be a likable person, and but I'm always gonna be loyal to Scoop. Now
Yeah.
I won't work for another magazine like Scoop because I feel like that's a conflict of interest. But when I'm being an
Yeah.
artist, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely patronize another publication because that's something different. And I feel like we have to coexist in this world. I
Yep.
feel like we need each other.
Yep.
You know what
No,
I'm
definitely.
saying?
That's why we're Stop Beef from Radio. Because your brother So Hart
Right.
was a major reason we're
Oh
even here
yeah,
today.
yeah,
Stop Beef and Start Eating,
yeah.
and I love that you're able to do that. Like I seen you were at the recent Scene of the Rhyme with the Midwest League. So even though you're with the Scoop, you still are participating with all these other publications. What was the experience like at the Midwest League studio? They're doing a lot of dope content right now. I
Yeah.
know Cho did the event you were at. What was that experience like for you?
So, it was definitely, man. Me, I want to be around rappers, man. I'm a rapper, man. It's like I think wolves want to be around other wolves, man.
Yep.
So
Yep.
me, I want to be around rappers, and I love when I can catch a rapper, rappers that are hungry as I am, and
Yeah.
we gonna go where they have events for us in particular, and so there. and don't get me wrong, it was some legends there, man, like
Yep, fact.
Swole, Lil Billy. I mean, these are guys that I admire for sure. And but you know, at the end of the day, man, we all artists, man. We
Yeah,
all trying to further our career, perfect our craft. And I think personally, being around other artists makes me a better artist.
yeah,
I think I can
yep.
bounce ideas off of them. Now, sometimes I hear a flow and be like, "Oh, I need to go back to the drawing board with my verse." You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's challenging, but it's a good challenging. So
yeah,
I really like the fact that Ladina, throughout the years, man, she's always stayed true to the local music scene or the Midwest
mhm,
music scene in general, man. And that to me, I don't care, you know, and I don't think she cares either. Like what we do in our, you know, free time is we respect her, her facility,
yeah.
and what she does to us, and she's definitely been a important part of the music scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely want to salute Ladina for all she's done for our city. Like she's constantly giving
yeah.
opportunities for artists. What's it like for you? Like I said, you've been around a long time. I know from experience talking to you and stuff, it was kind of like you weren't getting the opportunities. You kind of felt like people weren't paying attention. And now, like I said, speed up to where we're at now. You're one of the hottest artists in the city. How are you dealing with this newfound success after all these years you've been working for it?
Oh man, I'm humble, man. The more I get, the more I give, man. So I want part of my story to be that he, even though he was an artist himself,
Yeah,
he was also a tool and a resource
yeah,
to other artists, you know, who might not be where I am, or who might not have the opportunities that I have.
yeah.
Um, so I work with several different organizations. One of them is I'm on the board of an organization called Musical Family Tree, and that's the organization that actually started booking me and paying me,
Ah,
and that's my first
yeah.
nice check. I think, man, I think it was like $350,
Wow.
but for, man, for something that I would have done for free.
Yeah, facts.
You know
Facts. It's
what I
always nice
mean?
to be paid for what you'll do
And
for free. Yep.
and so so I turn other artists on, because other artists don't even know that some of these organizations exist
Yeah.
for them. And so I just try to be a resource, man, and just try to help artists make a living off of their money, man. I mean, off of their music, cause I actually live off of it, man. Aside from Scoop, and Scoop is, it's my job, but it ain't really like my job,
Right.
man. It's more of another place that I go and donate my time, you know, so I'll have access to the publication, and
Yeah.
I can continue to spread my message, and get him to like, he has a artist of the month feature in the thing. Now it doesn't cost artists anything, you know, different artists get it every month, but that is part of my doing, you know, me like, hey man, we got to help. We say we the entertainment source, man. We
Yeah.
got to talk about this local entertainment scene as well. So I like to think that I'm instrumental in helping that come about as well, man. So it's never just about me as an artist. I am an artist, man, but at the end of the day, man, I wish that when I started out, I would have had somebody as knowledgeable as me to give me some guidance,
Yeah.
man. So I just try to be the change I want to see, Matt. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes people tell me that I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey, I do this for them, but
hmm
I also do it for me. It makes me feel good as a person,
Yeah.
man. You know, like, why would I let you make mistakes, man? If you don't have to, why wouldn't I offer you
Yep.
some guidance? You know,
Yep.
if you take it, great. If you don't, that's okay as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. Shout out to me and St. James, my brother, man. That's what Stop Beefing Radio has always been about, is giving so much free game away that people sometimes forget what we did. But, you know what I mean? That's not what we're here for. We're not here for the credit. We're really for those opportunities. Speaking of an opportunity, I want to give a highlight to you because you're really good at social media marketing. Like, I see the way you roll out your songs.
Oh,
You got the clips with Booty. You got the We Came
yeah.
to Party. What's the most viral clip you've had, and what made that go viral, you think?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I just well, I like normally like I said, I'm an artist, man.
Yeah.
So when I design, even when I design flyers, like I try to cater to my target audience. So if I'm making it for a Hispanic community, then I'm gonna use Hispanic colors. I'm gonna use Hispanic fonts, and so with the videos and things like that, it's the same way. I look at who my audience is. Like every song ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so I think my most successful song is definitely We Came to Party. And it's a
Yeah.
song that me and Who Done It came up with, just messing around in the studio, man, just
Yeah.
just playing. Like, man, what if we make a song like this? Doom, 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 like a disco type of
Yeah.
song. And then he started making the beat, man. Who done it in a way, man, a lot of ways, man. He remind me of So Hard the way his mind
Yeah.
works when he creates music, because he just created on the spot, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The
Yeah.
people that know Hard know that you could just Hard to be like, say the chorus
Yeah.
and just get to making
Yeah.
it, and you don't even realize that he piecing it
Yeah. You
together. And
you saying the chorus and he's humming in his head, like all you hear is him saying, making a sound. And you're like, what are you doing over there? And then 5 seconds later, the beat's ready to go. I'm like, okay, that's
yeah,
what you were
next
doing.
thing
Like,
you know, he like, hey, you ready to go? You ready to record? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, what? So yeah, no, I have a similar relationship that I've built with Who Done It,
yeah.
and that song, just we was just screwing around, man. And while
Yeah.
he was making the beat, I was like, what if I say something like this? The work week is
Yeah.
over. It was kind of like a real old school flow, man. But it really went perfect with it, man. And the internet, some people got it, some people didn't. It's definitely huge, like over in Germany, and some other countries overseas is where it really started taking off at, because I guess they have a really big dance music
Yep.
culture.
Fact.
And, and even though I rap on it, the beat is kind of sort of what determines,
Yep.
what it is, and it definitely fits with the dance music, disco vibe. But they like it, man, and it ended up landing on the media based charts, man. And I had some help with that too from I better shout him out, man. Um, Older gentleman here, man, Uncle Jams, man.
Yeah. Salute
Actually,
jams.
yeah, man, he does a little consulting for me, and
Okay.
points me in the right direction. Like I said, I'm forever a
Yeah.
student, and I know he is extremely knowledgeable about radio and things like that. And he actually helped me get the song on. God, man, at one point in time, man, it was on probably a couple hundred radio stations, man, and it started charting. And hey, man, the rest is history, man. People started reaching out, man, from overseas, man, for like radio interviews and stuff like that, man. So
Speaking of Germany,
uh
salute my family. DJ Rapture's in the building. Yeah, Uncle Jans, man, he's a legend out here. You know, he just kind of helped Babyface become Babyface. Not to, too much of his story, but how's it feel to know you have a legend like that supporting you and, having that real connections to the industry? Because a lot of people say they can do stuff for people, but I
mhm.
know Uncle Jams really can call these people and get
Oh
stuff
yeah.
going. So how's it feel to have him
Nah, hey
being a
man,
consultant for you?
it feels great, man. He's the plug,
Yeah.
but I had to adapt. I had to uh do some things. He had some
Yep.
requirements. If you know
Yep.
him, you know his requirements. So
Yep.
I really don't use profanity in my music anymore.
How
And
hard
I
was that
never,
transition for you?
yeah,
How hard of a transition was
I
it?
never really needed to though. I don't.
Yeah.
Now that I think back, I never really needed to.
Yeah.
I think for lack of a better word, sometimes I would insert that, but I can still get the same meaning across without saying it, man. Let me shout out one other person, man, too, man. Dinah Biggs, man. She owns several radio stations, man. She's
Yep.
definitely been instrumental in pushing the song "We Came to Party," man. And we have a good
Yep.
working relationship. But once again, man, it all started, man, with Uncle Jams. He took that song. He worked that song. He
Yep.
had me on several interviews and with DJs and stuff like that, man. So I man, I got to give it up to him, man. It, the success really started with him pointing me
Okay.
in the right direction,
Yeah.
man.
Now you
Yeah.
mentioned who done it. Shout out to him. My family sax. They go hard. What they're doing. How did you meet who done it, and what made you guys form this partnership that you have? Because like you said, you guys are almost like Dr. Dre and Snoop these days,
Oh
releasing content. So
man.
how did you guys form that partnership?
Man, I met Who Done It, man, is to like you said, when y'all was doing 100 Entertainment
Yeah.
and stopped beefing at first, I didn't have I didn't have I didn't have I wasn't my musical juices weren't
Yeah.
flowing, you feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so uh just wasn't I just don't like to create, even the same way when I do graphics. If my juices ain't flowing, I might take on a job, but I don't start working on it because I don't want to put out subpar
Yep.
art. And so I started looking around, man, and one of my buddies named Pyrex, he was like, "Hey man, call Who Done It." I was like, "Who done it? Who the fuck is Who Done It?"
Who
And then
done
he's
it?
like, "I'm telling you, man." And he left me
Yeah.
his number. And then every time he would be like, every time I see him was like once a week, he'd be like, "Man, you ain't talked to Who Done It? You ain't talked to Who Done It?" I said, "Nah." And then he was like, "Man, call him." So one day I called him. Hey man, I went over there. I think I forget what song it was. He cooked up for me, man. But he cooked it up right there on the spot. Sax was
Yeah.
there, and even Sax was like, "Yeah, nah, Who Done It? Yeah, yeah. I see you done found your way over here." And ever since then, man, yeah,
Yeah.
man, nah, man. Hey, the boy he's a bad brother, man. He's
Mm.
too important to the story, man. And since I've known him, man, he's just been learning and getting better, man. As he learned the camera. So now Who Done It does all of my audio engineering. I don't really want to record with another person.
Mm.
He produces most of the beats that I rap on, and he shoots most of the videos, man.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
a
so
one-stop shop right now. Yeah.
yeah, man, literally, man, I pay this guy not to move to Hollywood, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
He's too
Yeah.
important to the story, man.
Yeah.
It
Now
ain't
you
nothing.
also you just did Slamology. So for people who's not familiar, this is the Indianapolis 500. It's in the biggest field. A lot of people around. What's that experience like for you being from Indianapolis, but now you're a part of Slamology, you're performing, and you got people all over the country watching you. How did that experience go for you?
Oh man, I rocked Slamology for 3 years in a row now, man.
Yeah.
Um, I love Slamology. It's almost like 20,000 people coming through every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Big boy stage. I mean, the real deal,
Yeah.
big boy stage. And I just got a good working relationship with them, man. I understand the assignment, man. It's a family friendly event. Most of my performances now are family friendly.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so yeah, man, Slamology, big shouts out to Donnie and Rob Snuggrass, man. Those are my homies now, man. Like I said, man,
Yeah.
I gotta, man, I'm telling you, man, I every time I work with somebody, I go above and beyond, man. And
Yeah.
so usually I get invited back, man. So Slamology's dope. Black Expo's dope, man. Like I said, man, I've been on a good run, man,
Yeah.
for the past 3 years, actually, probably since I saw
Yeah.
you at
Yep.
that. Since and I still got that interview on my page too, man.
Okay.
I mean, not on
Dope.
my page, but on the Rhymacide.com website, man. If any of y'all want to check it out, man, it's on there, man. It's on my
Dope.
videos page. Yep,
I'm
I
gonna have to.
did.
I'm gonna go grab that as a Throwback Thursday now.
Hey man,
Now,
it's
we.
on there. I look at you, man, the same way that I look at some of these other guys, man. Because even when I wasn't rocking, man, y'all was out there in the trenches, man. And I knew that if I ever came back, who I was gonna contact, man, to help me get it popping, man. And just so happened we bumped into each
Yeah.
other. You know, we
Yeah.
knew some of the same people, man. So yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that a lot, man. Yeah, shout out to DJ Long Green with DJ Fest, man.
Oh yeah.
You're one of the few artists in the city that came out and supported all the DJs, man. And I love that about you. Like it was really dope because we had DJs from all over our city. Shout out to DJ Manny Faces, a Head Rush, my
Yeah.
family. And you were there, and you weren't just there like trying to push your music and say support me, support me, support me. No, you were actually there as a fan and
Yeah.
trying to build real relationships, which is something a lot of artists need to figure out how to do sometimes. Who are some of the DJs you connected with because you went to DJ Fest? And then what was your overall experience being at DJ Fest this year?
Oh man, DJ Fest was amazing, bro. It was amazing. Uh, Once again, it's one of those things that I think that all the artists should have been at, man, because
Yeah.
we, we
Yep.
we need the DJs, man. You want your music inside of their computers, man, because they're gonna be places that I'm not gonna be. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And but Long Green and Lex, man, or definitely a couple special DJs, man, because ever since I found out who they are, man, they've always encouraged me to send, not just me, but other artists, send the music in. We'll play
Yeah.
it, you
They
know,
will.
but nah, man, nah, they literally begging for for the local music. And those guys, man, are always two special DJs,
Yeah.
man. But when I went to DJ Fest, man, I connected with a lot of DJs, some
Yeah.
legends, man, some guys
They were
that,
there. They were
oh,
there.
bro, man, some guys that when I was coming up, man, that I heard their names, you know, Carlos Maybury, Mix,
Yeah.
DJ Go, you know, obviously Don was there, man. World, I mean, Freddie Fresh, everybody, man. So if I don't name you, you know I'm rocking with
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? But the
Yeah,
interview was on.
at one point we were standing in stage C, I think it was. We had DJ Orion, legendary DJ
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
Indy
yeah.
500. We had Freddie, as you said. We had Don. We had
Hmm.
World. We had DJ Chris. Like we had a lot of DJ.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
we had a lot of our legendary DJs that's been putting in this work for all these years, all in one spot.
Nah,
So man, it was a great experience for me too because I always love being at events like that just to see how the city's progressing, and it just looks like a unified
man,
movement right now.
that thing is gonna be special for years to come. And
Yeah.
I love that Long Green is as passionate about the DJ community as I am about
Yep.
the hip hop artists, man. This guy has, you know, went back and woke up legends like, hey,
Yep.
Thomas Sparkle Soft Griffin. Like, you know, these are guys that my mom used to, you know, go out to nightclubs and
Yeah.
dance to, you know what I mean? So nah, this guy is this is a special guy, man. This dude is like literally making history, man, as a DJ. And I'm sure some of the other DJs that probably aren't as active, you know, really appreciate that, man, because everybody want that a boy or a good job, man. I mean, and we all want that, man. I'm telling you, man, and it was really special if you get it from your homeboys,
Yep.
man.
Now you
Yeah.
mentioned a lot of legends in this interview, but I want to highlight one other moment I know you had, and I'm sure your family had to be love it when DJ Gino introduces you at club premiere. Like, come on now, DJ Gino is the
Oh yeah.
legend. He does all the biggest parties. So what's your family say to you when they find out that Gino's not only supporting your music, but now he's starting to, bring you out
No.
to shows and really endorse what you're doing?
Man, Gino, man. Hey, man. Once again, man. He's one of the biggest promoters, legendary, man, promoter in the city, man. So
Yeah.
he is so instrumental just to the entertainment industry here. But
Yeah.
that particular event was actually an Uncle Jam's event.
Okay.
And Uncle Jam's,
Yeah.
yeah, man, he booked me at the event to open up for his group Forecast. And
Yeah.
like I said, man, I understood the assignment. I know what he wants. I'm good at what I do. And it was special for him to have Gino, you know, bring us out. And it really meant a lot to me as well, man. Like I said, man, a lot of these guys, man, I grew up idolizing, man.
Yeah.
And it's just it's amazing that now we like buddies now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
When I
Relationships.
yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, for me, I think it's definitely instrumental, man, for as an artist to build a relationship with promoters, because that's who's gonna book you,
Yep.
with DJs, because that's who's gonna play your music, and you know, also with your fans as well, because those are who's gonna buy your merch and stuff like
Right.
that, man. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, you gotta be likable, man. I got this saying. I tell people, so I'm gonna just say it, man. People spend money with people that they like.
Yep.
I'm just a firm believer in that. So you gotta be likable, man. You gotta be a likable individual, and I think that people will start to gravitate to you. They'll give you that 2 minutes
Yep.
to, you know, pitch yourself to them, and if they like it, you know, who knows where things may go from there. But you just gotta definitely, man, be likable, man. You gotta be approachable, man. You just
Yep.
gotta be a good human. If you be a good human being, I think everything else will work out for you.
No, I definitely agree with that. Now we're gonna talk about this weekend. We got a major event in our city, Rich Fest. You know, what I mean, you've been dealing with all these legends, but now you're gonna do Rich Fest, where it's more of our up and coming younger artists. How are you looking forward to mentoring and motivating these new artists, and what's it feel like now to be a headlining artist on a major festival like Rich
Oh
Fest?
man, well, ever since I met Illy,
Yeah,
man, from Rich
Illy.
Harvest, man, me and Illy instantly connected. I figured he was a guy like me, man. He was passionate about what he do.
Yeah,
And so I think it was Aaron McCarthy, Bam, that asked me to jump on Rich Fest, man. And I said, absolutely,
yeah,
man, because I respect their movement. I respect Harvest's movement, man. They got their own wave, man.
yeah,
And so it's really an honor for me to rock for them. I actually went to Rich Fest last year, and I was so amazed at, man, the amount of, man, it was probably 500 people out there,
yeah, yeah. They
man.
get a crowd. Yeah,
Man, hey, no major radio promotion, just off of word of mouth, and
yeah,
obviously people just supporting them and liking what they do, man. And so for me, it's an honor. I don't want to, you know, I'm just older. I
yeah.
don't even want to say that I'm a headliner, man, because I'm going to go out there and I'm going to attempt to put on a great show just like every other artist, man.
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, when you're on the news in the morning performing your hit song to our city, you kind of become a headliner. You might not want that progression because you're a humble spirit, like you said, but no, if you're on the news and you're performing your song, you're pretty much top echelon now. Now, do you have any advice for people who want to be in the music industry? Either they're based in Indianapolis or Stop Beef on Radio. We're in 65 countries. If they're around the world, what kind of advice would you give them in today's music climate?
Um, I think today's music climate is connect with the fans, connect with your listeners. You got to
Yep.
pay attention to who who's liking your
Yeah.
content. Like,
Yeah.
I got some guys that like and share everything. I could say,
Yeah.
I threw this piece of paper away today. Share, you know, and you got to pay attention to those people, because
Yeah.
those are your supporters, your super fans, and that's who's gonna buy your merch. That's who's gonna push play. That's who's gonna be like, hey man, check out what Rhymacide dropped today, man. He just so I pay attention to the people that do support me, and
Yeah.
I try to find other people like them. I know that everything isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that that's one of the first things that artists has to realize. You have to determine who you are
Yeah.
and know that everything isn't going to be for everybody. Like for
Yeah.
me, for example, maybe some younger people may hear my music and it resonates with them, but I know that some of them haven't had the life experiences that I had, so they
Facts.
can't really comprehend
Yeah.
things that I talk about, you know, because they haven't lived long enough, and that's okay,
Yeah. It's
you know.
always funny to me because knowing who you are, like I know Hard Times is family, so
Oh
Hard's
yeah,
family. So
yeah, yeah,
I know where you come from, but now you're making this fun music. You're making Foot Fetish, you're making
yeah,
Booty, you're making We
yeah,
Came
yeah,
to Party. So people are looking at you like, well, what are you doing? You're just fun. But no, you come from the trenches and you survived it, so you should be having fun. Like
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you're at our age and you're able to be away from all the, you know, the stuff that goes on in our city,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you got to celebrate those
Yeah, yeah,
moments.
man. And I'm not out there running the streets
Yep.
like that, man. Most of the time, man, if I don't have a performance, uh, I'm in bed by 10 o'clock now, man.
Yeah.
So I prefer the morning time over the nighttime, man.
Yep.
So my life is different. My lifestyle is different, man. So I just think it just came with maturing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I think everybody, if we blessed enough, man, we're gonna mature. We're gonna evolve. Things that we used to find entertaining,
You don't want to do it.
we're
Yeah.
no longer gonna find them entertaining. I think it just comes with life,
Yeah.
man. If you let life take its natural progression, man. So I'm just at that age to where I'm celebrating life. I love the
Well,
fact
also, I would also
that I
say this for that part of it to you is because you're more mature, you came with We Came to Party because we know if you were a little younger, you would have been scared of the reaction that so-called the city would have gave you and be like, nah, let's just keep this in a folder. But when you're a little older and you don't care
yeah.
about people's reaction, that would allowed you to do this song. And we know as people who are in the music industry, the song you hate a lot of times is the one that takes off.
And
So,
that's kind of sort of what happened, Mac.
yeah,
I didn't necessarily hate it,
yeah,
but the way we came about, we was just in the studio, like I said, joking around, and we was like, "Hey, that's a vibe, man," and it's what people weren't used to it. So now a lot of people have discovered me because of We Came to Party,
yeah,
and they think that that's all I do. But the
yeah.
but last Monday at the leak, I got on a mic and they had a flash of the old me,
I was gonna say you pulled
and
those old songs out. Yep.
yeah, 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 you know, and so I'm a very diverse artist, man. It just depends on what I
Hmm.
feel like, man. I just write off of what I feel, man. So but right now, man, for the most part, I want to have fun. I want to celebrate life. I want to enjoy
Yeah.
this thing.
Now,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you have any upcoming releases? Anything we can circle on a calendar for you and be on the lookout for?
Uh, not in particular, Matt. Man,
Okay.
I'm holding back, man. I recently just dropped an album called As Is. It's
Yeah.
got like 8 tracks on it. All the tracks are produced by my homeboy Who Done It, and that was
Okay.
kind of like my gift to him. Like he did all the recording, all the tracks. And like I said, man, it's like my gift to him, man. So I'm gonna keep running with that, man, probably till towards the end of the year, man. And just keep partying,
Yeah.
man. I feel like ain't
Yeah.
no party like a Rhymacide party, man. So yeah.
Well, because if you think about it, like that song, We Came to Party will get you in Vegas. That song will get
Yeah.
you in Miami. That song will get you overseas. Like it's a fun song. So it may not be the most lyrical miracle song there is,
Yeah.
but you can
Nah.
do that too. So that's something you can hit them with. But if it's a good song, people want to dance to it. Now, you've mentioned Who Done It, and we mentioned Sax, part of your team. How important is your team for you, and who are some of the other members of your team that help make everything work the way way it does?
Man, for the most part, man, it's really mainly, man, to be in the gym shooting jumpers with me, man, is me and Who Done It, man. We talk every day,
Okay.
man, about music. Sometimes we argue about music, but he is my go. Well, cause he's like East Coast boom
Yep.
bap hip hop.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that I'm more Midwest, Southern hip hop, and so
Yep.
we argue about hip hop music, you know what I'm saying? But he challenges me to be a better MC, and I like to think that I challenge him to be a better producer. And
Yeah.
so we just bounce ideas off of each other. But I definitely have a lot of people that help me, like my homegirl Sounds of Shiree. She's very instrumental. She's probably like one of my biggest promoters, man. She wears all my merch. She's a model,
Dope.
a for real baddie. So, she's always in my merch, man. And my homegirl Cora, like I said, Uncle Jams, Cliff from Scoop. I definitely give Ladina all the props, man, for what she
Yeah.
does, you know, for the local music scene as well, man. It's just probably too many to name, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I even look at you, Matt, man, at what you do, man. You are very instrumental, man,
Thank
because
you.
we need media. We sometimes it's not about our music, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about our story, and hopefully somebody watching can relate to my story, and we can build a connection. Either you can
Yeah.
learn from me or I can learn from you, so I think that it's important to do talk segments and
Yeah.
allow people to get to know me as a person, you
Yeah, I
know.
appreciate that a lot, man. Because a lot of times I hear in the city people say there's no media in the city. I'm like, Stop Beefing Radio has been here almost 20 years. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem is we not just in the city though. We outside of the market. We're trying. My goal is to bring the industry to Naptown. So we can't
Right.
just stay in Naptown to be able to do what we're trying to do. But I really appreciate that because a lot of times people don't acknowledge that sometimes of what we're doing. What kind of things are you doing in the community? I know you do a lot of stuff to give back. What's some of the things you are doing to give back to the community or help the up and coming kids and stuff?
Oh man, I volunteer at the Harrison Center.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, man. I try to mentor the younger artists and teach them how to generate some income. Because as an artist, we invest a lot of money into our
Mhm.
craft, but most of them don't know how to properly register their music. And I give this information away for free.
Yeah.
And people always, some people encourage me to charge, but I don't want to charge.
Mhm.
I don't want to charge artists. That is not where I'm gonna make my money from. That's just not
Yeah.
for me. These are future me's, and I just
Yep.
they are definitely future me's, and I want them to be as knowledgeable as possible as they navigate these treacherous musical waters. You know what I mean? So at
Yeah.
least I can give them the tools and the information to make sure their music is profitable and to make sure they know who to go talk to.
Yeah.
Obviously you on my list. If I had an artist that I manage, you are one of the first people that I'm gonna send them at. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell them go talk to this
Yeah.
person, go talk to this person because I done been there and done that. You know what I mean? So I can give it back now.
Yeah. Now, outside of music and doing graphics, what's something you like to do when you got downtime? Like if you're not in the studio creating with Who Done It, what are you doing to enjoy yourself?
Man, I watch a ton of documentaries.
Okay. Okay. What's the most
dude,
recent documentary you watched?
dude, it's too many of them, man. Man, I'm really running out of them. I think during the writer's strike,
Yeah.
man, they falling behind. They need to create some new ones. But I watch, man, documentaries about obviously I love crime documentaries.
Okay.
God, I hate to admit
Yeah.
it, but I love those. But I watch a lot of animal documentaries. I just enjoy learning, man.
Yeah.
I got one of those type of brains that I have to be busy, man.
Yep. Yep.
I stay busy, man. So for the most part, man, when I do get some downtime, I spend time with my kids, man. And I definitely watch. I prefer a documentary over a movie any day.
Okay. And then before we get out of here, what do you have to say to your fans and supporters, you know, all over all these years? Anything you want to say to them?
Hey, man, ain't no party like a Rhymacide party. I definitely appreciate everybody that has ever pushed play, man, and just gave a guy like me 2, 3 minutes of your time, man. Hopefully you were entertained and hopefully you learned something, because that's one thing about my music is I try to drop gems in there and let people learn about me, or if nothing else, let people know that you're not alone. You know, that's why it was important for me to do songs like Foot Fetish. You know, I love women that take care of their feet.
Yep.
I'm not the only one. I can't be. So yeah, it's okay to be yourself, man. This is
Yeah.
who I am. I'm not gonna apologize for being me. You know what I mean?
I
Hopefully,
mean, if you look at Flow Rider from Florida,
no,
like he's
no,
one of
yeah.
the most successful
Woo.
artists there is in the game because he went the lane you're going. So I would definitely say double down on what you're doing. Get into the fun music, get into highlighting the beautiful women, get into that
Yeah,
type of lane because there's not as much traffic over there, and you're
right,
really dope at what you do. You are a lyricist, so like if it came push to shove, you could go bar for bar with anyone. So
thank
you
you. I
introduce
appreciate
yourself
that.
as a fun rapper, and then you get them with that lyrical stuff, and then you'll have fans forever.
Right. I definitely appreciate it. Flow Rider is definitely one of the people that I think about when I think
Okay.
about that type of music. And you know, because like I said, I'm not running the streets some more, so it's not important for me to be a street rapper. Now I don't care about street cred. People that know me,
Yep.
and people that
Yep.
don't, well, you this is the me you're meeting. You
Yeah,
know
you
what I
get to
mean?
meet the new me.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get to meet the grown man, the dad. So yeah.
Hey, and be happy you did that. Be happy you met me now when I'm 40 versus when I was 20 and in these streets.
Uh, you know they better believe it. Nah, I never really was a bad guy, man. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, man. I never really was a bad guy, man. I just made some bad choices in life, man. But I'm fortunate that I was able to learn how to make better decisions in life. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing that separates me from somebody else, you know, that's still going through it, is I've learned how to make better decisions. And so every day I'm still trying to make the best decision possible, man. And so yeah, no. So I think life is definitely all about making good decisions, man. And the main thing is I bring my ass home at night, man. I'm
Yeah.
not out all night screwing around, man. That's kind of like why you got me right now sitting at my dining room table.
Now, is there anything else you want to make sure we mention before we get out of here?
Not really, man. Just I just encourage people, man. Just be a nice human, man. Be nice to people, man. It's contagious, man.
Yeah.
If I make your day better, hopefully you'll make somebody else's day better, man. Just smile, talk to people, uh, and just be a nice human, man. Just do your part, man. And that's really the best message that I can give anybody, man. Is at the
Well,
end of the day, we all people.
yeah.
We gotta coexist in this. We gotta coexist,
Yeah.
man. You know.
I
So
definitely agree. Well, I appreciate your time tonight, man. You know, we're gonna post this and then I'm gonna clip this up. You're the first art. We're gonna start doing this new series every week to showcase, Naptown artists. So you're the first one. So we're gonna be promoting it and stuff like that. So I'll collaborate with you in the post. And I look forward to seeing more dope music, man. Like anything I can do to help you, don't hesitate to, let me know. Like DJ Manny Face has told you
yeah.
as well, man. We love what you
Oh yeah,
do.
nah, Manny,
We love
man.
the support you gave
Manny the
us, and
homie.
man, you count us as part of your team, man. So anything I can do to help you, you got it.
There you go. Hey, before we sign off, man, let me say a shout out to one of my new homegirls that I just met, man,
Oh,
Farron. I see
okay.
you've been watching all evening, man. I just want to shout you out, homegirl. I appreciate you rocking with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
All right,
definitely
man. Have a great night.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you and stop beefing, man. Keep doing what y'all do, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Peace.
Yep.